Hey YouTube, Tweak here, bringing you all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile for Genesys format. Wanted to update the Blue Eyes deck for Genesys format. There are some cards, and when I say cards, I mean specifically one card for the Blue Eyes deck that really adds up to the point system for the deck. So we have to go with more of a pure option to then be able to stick with this one spell, which is Wishes for Eyes of Blue, since it takes up the 99 point count in the deck for being 33 points each for the Blue Eyes deck, but all the other cards are free of points in the deck that we use for the extra deck monsters and the main deck Blue Eyes monsters as well. It kind of takes out the Primite Engine option in the deck to be able to use, but we have cards like Kaiba Man to help with the overall Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon play. The one card I don't have for the deck is Dragon Master Magia. If you wanted to run it, there's always the option, but it does take up a good number of points as well. So remember that, and it will take out some of the other cards in the deck like Wishes if you wish to run that card. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. We'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. We're running 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is because we're running Kaiba Man, which you need to run the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon to make full use of Kaiba Man being our boss monster of the main deck with 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. And the 3 of option just gives us more plays for the actual fusion setup for our many different extra deck monsters that we run as well. The card that we do want to run 3 of next is Kaiba Man. Sadly, only have the 2 copies though, so you can just replace Dictator of D for additional copies until you get Kaiba Man himself. If this card is normal or special summon, you can show 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in your hand, deck, face up on the field, and or graveyard. Special summon 1 Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. If you special summon while this card's in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card to add a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. You can use this effect of Kaiba Man, the legend, once per turn, but the reveal and setup of a Blue Eyes is just meant to use this card to grab you your 3 Blue Eyes all the faster onto your field for you then to be able to special summon back. The more Blue Eyes we have, also the stronger for some of our other cards we run in the deck as well will work together also. And then also the 3 copies of Maiden of White. I guess the big power in this deck also came down to the Link monster, which we can't run anymore with Genesys format, but we still have set up with cards like Maiden of White to go for our synchro plays, and then also to be able to set up True Light face up on the field as well, which gives us another special summon, and Maiden still being a tuner gives us options to use her for synchro plays, like going into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. And also the 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue, which we also can use this card to add a level 1 light tuner from our deck to our hands. We can use Sage to then add Maiden. The biggest problem is just there's no link play, obviously, to use Sage with Eyes of Blue to then go into, so we either have to use Sage for our synchro plays, or we just have this one monster sitting on the field to use. We do have some other extra plays that I'm trying to test out as well with it, which we'll go over when we get to the extra deck. For the other main deck monsters, 3 copies of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. If you control a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can target a light tuner you control, increase or decrease its level by 1, and if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 Blue Eyes monster or 1 monster that mentions Blue Eyes from your deck to the graveyard, giving you more of that setup for special summoning back your Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard if need be. And then the 1-ofs for the other Blue Eyes monsters include the 1 Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, the 1 Blue Eyes Alternative, the 1 Deep Eyes White Dragon, and then the 1 Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, having more of the burn option with cards like Deep Eyes White Dragon, the Blue Eyes Abyss for more of a special summon search for our ritual or polymerization, and then Blue Eyes Alternative having the destruction power, and Jet Dragon for the added protection and special summon power when it's in the graveyard as well. All 1-of cards that you just need for the deck for that spot, with the remainder of our main deck monsters being the 1 Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon and the 2 King of the Swamp, having more search power for our polymerizations that we run in the deck, and then Chaos Max just being another card to work with Abyss Dragon being our ritual of choice, and then the Chaos Max search also. For the spells at the 99 point count, since we're running 3 copies, 3 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. You discard 1 card, add 1 level 1 light tuner, and 1 spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except for Wishes for Eyes of Blue. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Blue Eyes White Dragon you control, equip 1 Blue Eyes monster from your extract to it as an equip spell, and it gives it 400 attack. So then we just have the option with this card to search out the needed Blue Eyes spell or traps, and then our Maiden or Sage with Eyes of Blue, and then the additional equip of our Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for the then go-to fusion play of being able to tribute our Blue Eyes to then summon out our Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon without the need for a spell. Also, the 2 copies of Roar the Blue-Eyed Dragons, more special summon power for Blue Eyes onto the field, special summoning 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck or graveyard or banishment. But if you control no Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. So it can give you, options to special summon if we already have Blue Eyes, but still, just being able to summon Blue Eyes directly and then just restricting from the extra deck just Dragon monsters for the rest of this turn isn't really too much of a problem in the deck to begin with anyway. More search power in the form of Bingo Machine Go, which we run 3 of as well. Just having the option to reveal 3 cards from your deck that meet at least one of the criteria listed below. Blue Eyes monster or a spell or trap that lists it. Then you reveal, shuffle, and then your opponent randomly picks one for you. So basically the Bingo Machine effect of this card to give you more search power of Blue Eyes cards from your deck to your hand. And then the one-ofs for some of the Blue Eyes spells include the Chaos Form for the Ritual play, the Ultimate Fusion for another option for quick play fusion summoning, Visions with Eyes of Blue for more of a reveal of a Blue Eyes to special summon a monster from your hand onto the field as well. 1 Mausoleum of White, just because we can't go into the search to grab this card. It's still nice to run just as another graveyard setup. And then for the generic spells, 2 Trade-in and 2 Polymerization, having Fusion, and then options with our level 8 monsters to discard and then give us more draw power off of this card also. And then our only traps that we run being the 1 True Light and the 1 Majesty of White Dragons, having the destruction power with Majesty of the White Dragons, and then True Light being able to just special summon back Blue Eyes from our graveyard, which then we in turn can use Maiden of White for the summon back as well off of this card. And for the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. Once per turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. Quick effect, you contribute this synchro summon card, special summon 1 Light Dragon synchro from your extra deck in defense, except for Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. So then, using this card, we can get access to bigger monsters like Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, which is the easier way to summon out this monster in the form of Spirit Dragon. Same with Azure Eyes Silver Dragon for more protection of our monsters on the field, Light Storm Dragon for a destruction play, and then Ancient Fairy Life Dragon as just another monster that can swing into your opponent's monsters with the 3300 defense that it has. The last synchro monster that I run is the 1 Navy Dragon Mech, another level 9 monster. If you didn't want to run this card, you can always put in a 3rd copy of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. There's no points for any of these other cards in the deck to take into consideration. And then for the fusions, 1 Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. You use this card off of the tribute for Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which we do run the additional copy of in the deck as well to have a fusion play with Ultimate Fusion. The 1 Blue Eyes Twin Dragon for the tribute play of 2 Blue Eyes to go into this card that can attack twice and have banish power as well for the monster it swings into. And then the 1 generic Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to finish off the fusion lineup, with our Xyz monsters being the 1 Indigo Silver Eyes Dragon. For the overlay play, it cannot attack directly unless this card has a normal monster's material. You can only use each of the following effects of Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon once per turn. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent controls, and you can detach one material from this card to target a normal monster in your graveyard or banish and special summon it, giving you back some of your Blue Eyes that may have been banished off of this card as well. The 1 Heliopolis, and then lastly the 1 Lyrilusk Ensemble Robin as a rank 1 monster to use if we're just left with some of our tuners on the field, having a special summon negator in the form of a rank 1 monster, just as an attempt to try and use this card as well. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, I would say just your initial setup for your Blue Eyes monsters to then go into your fusion plays is a big part of it. Cards like Sage with Eyes of Blue can still be used for your normal summon to then grab cards like Maiden of White, going for the discard to set up your True Light. The big play here comes down to what you can use for the added setup of monsters in your graveyard to then use for those summons. You can use cards like Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon to then summon out your Blue Eyes, and all of these cards can be searched off of cards like your Wishes, which once again they take up the majority of our points in the deck for us to use. But then being able to summon out those cards gives you the access to other cards like Maiden to then summon back, and then the additional synchro plays to then go into from here. If you have cards like Kaiba Man, it gives you more of a setup to reveal the Blue Eyes monsters, and then grabbing you that additional special summon of a Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And then if you special summon Blue Eyes while it's in your graveyard, you can banish this card to have the additional add of a Blue Eyes, so giving you more and more Blue Eyes monsters to then add from your deck to your hand for when you get all 3, being able to then fuse them together with our fusion options in the deck to then go into our bigger Blue Eyes fusion monsters as well. It's a very fun deck, but the majority of the points do get taken up by wishes for Eyes of Blue, but they help with the overall search consistency since we don't have any link monsters to be able to go into to set up cards like Mausoleum and give us more of a graveyard setup. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.